Alright, hello everybody. I'm here to demonstrate my game called Very Possible Game. Creating this game, I used HTML, CSS, and the most important part right here, I got JavaScript. So let me give you a demo of the game. So when you start the game, you have a nice little animation, right? Start the game. The objective of the game is to just jump over the enemy as they come at you. They repeatedly come at you while they want to get you, they want you to die, they don't want you to live, so they just keep coming at you just like Minecraft. And the way you jump is with the up arrow key. That's the only function of this game because I imitated Impossible Game, which was one of my favorite games. Instead, I called this one a Very Possible Game. Um, and yeah, and then when you die, so alert, you can restart if you like. Nice little animation here. And yeah, that's the game. So to show you what went into this, this is the landing page right here. Basically, one of the few things that's in the HTML, and you got the button. So let's go to JavaScript. That's the restart button, by the way. So in the JavaScript, I have multiple functions. I started off by creating all elements, basically the character element, the stage element, the enemy. I created all those elements in JavaScript. This object right here is basically the values that I multiply by to create this world, and which in the characters live in within the model, the model, and that's the enemy position. So you'll see how I use them later on. Here's how I render the stage. So I basically I got the query selector of the parent class. I gave it a class name. I appended the child to the stage element. I appended the stage element to the parent. This is how you render the player. As you saw, I created the element in the top, but here's where I give it a class name and I append it to the screen, like basically to the screen, to the model, to the DOM. This is how I get the initial player location. So as you saw on the top, how up here I had the X and Y's. This is how I put it into use. You basically just target the style of the element from the top part. And I basically say I want the enemy's position, the enemy position, which is the name of the object. And I want the Y key, which gives me the value of 3. So then I multiply by 100 and by pixel. So string is just converting it to string, so no errors. Then I have a remove player here, which is basically how I kill the player. Basically, I have a function around here that checks when the player and the enemy have met up, which is basically saying I'm checking for the position of this world they live in. When those positions meet up, that's how you kill it. And this is a moving function, so I have a set interval on it. This is the logic how I get the enemies to move. Basically grabbing the 13, so grab the X value and decrement from 13 to 1. And while that's happening, I'm just editing the style from the margin, basically margin left, push it back. And this logic right here is basically the most important part. It's to keep everything within the world, making sure they don't pass 14, which is greater than the container, or 1, in this world we live in, -1. And this is my logic on how I get the enemy to drop, or the player to drop. Basically creating a Boolean value, having a false in the very top initially. And when he jumps, as you can see here, it's true. So when he jumps, I don't want the enemy to kill him, so it's true, don't kill me. And in order to get him to drop, I basically have the false here, and I reposition the enemy, or the player.